This video is on the new T2 turntables from our friends at Pro-Ject Audio. Let's get started. Back in 1991, the founder of Pro-Ject had a vision that vinyl was going to make a big comeback and founded Pro-Ject Audio with the desire to bring high-performance audio down in price by using great manufacturing processes coupled with economies of scale. Almost all Pro-Ject components are designed at their engineering facility in Austria and manufactured at their Eastern European plants. The formula of controlling all parts in the production process and making high-value products turned out to be a huge success. Pro-Ject is now one of the largest manufacturers of turntables in the world. Pro-Ject makes turntables from the very entry level to the extreme high end, but their T-Series has had very wide appeal as it's a step up from their least expensive, with much of their technology in their higher priced turntables. The original T1 model these T2s descend from was introduced back in 2019 and was designed to offer much of the tech found in their very popular debut series. These improved versions of the T1 in the new T2 package actually surpassed those debut models from that time period. Now, there are 3 new T2 models, but they are all based on the same turntable. We will review the T2 and then discuss the next 2 models to help you decide if they are worth the extra cost. Like almost all of Pro-Ject's turntables, the T2 is a manual belt drive type. This means you start the platter up with a button push, pick up the tone arm, move it over the record, and lower it using the damped cueing. When your record ends, you do this all in reverse. This design uses the fewest moving parts to keep noise and vibrations away from the signal path. Now, you can ask any turntable enthusiast about their opinion on belt drive turntables versus direct drive turntables, and you'll usually get some passionate answers. At Audio Advice, we feel both designs have merit. But if you look at the top rated turntables in the world, almost all of them are belt drive. We feel it is also easier to design a great sounding belt drive turntable than a direct drive model, especially in the price ranges these models fall within. If you want to learn more about belt drive versus direct drive turntables, I'll leave a link in the description to a video we did that explains the differences between the two. When it comes to the build quality of the T2, it's just excellent, especially the tone arm, which we were super impressed with. You also have 3 color options to choose from on each T2 model, which are piano black, satin white, or vinyl wood laminate. Now let's next move on to all the features and tech found in these new T2 turntables, which is very impressive, especially for their price point. We will start at the bottom and work our way up. The 3 feet for the T2 are vibration resistant to help isolate the T2 from picking up vibrations from nearby speakers. We do wish they were adjustable for leveling, but Pro-Ject does make a variety of turntable isolation bases that do have adjustable feet. Even though they are vibration resistant, it is still a good idea with any turntable to keep it away from speakers capable of deep bass if you can. The large plinth is CNC machined out of a solid composite material. It is a combination of MDF with a foil wrap to reduce resonance. Pro-Ject chose this material to reduce any vibrations inside the plinth. The motor is mounted to the plinth with isolation material between it. Pro-Ject also used an advanced electronic control system for the motor to ensure it spins at a constant speed. It is also nice that you get a switch on the left side to go between 33 and 45 without having to move the belt like many belt drive units. The sub platter for the T2 series is mounted to a very precision built main bearing with tolerances down to 0.001 millimeters. The bearing uses a hardened steel axle and brass bushing. The thick blasted tempered glass platter on the T2 weighs almost 4 pounds. This heavy platter creates a great flywheel effect, improving speed stability. The included felt mat tops off this glass platter. The tone arm on the T2 is a big upgrade from the T1 with several improvements. The T2 arm has an effective length of 9 inches, which is pretty standard for higher end tone arms, as the longer length results in less tracking error. The massive bearing assembly was updated to have even lower friction to accommodate the longer arm. The arm is a one-piece design, including the head shell for better vibration control. The polished nickel-plated rear counterweight is decoupled from the arm. It comes preset for the included Sumiko Rainier cartridge, but you can loosen a set screw to make tracking force adjustments for a different cartridge. You will just need to use the stylus pressure gauge that comes in the box, then lock down the set screw. The anti-skating is variable and easily adjusted with a knob on the side of the arm. As a matter of fact, that is the only thing you have to adjust during setup, since the Rainier cartridge comes pre-aligned and balanced. Just turn the knob to 2 and you are done. We can't say how much we love this Sumiko Rainier Phono cartridge that it comes with. We first heard this on the new debut Evo from Pro-Ject a while back, and we were blown away by its sound. It tracks great and has a very sweet yet detailed presentation. Like all Sumiko cartridges, it is handmade in Yokohama, Japan. But the cool part is you can upgrade its performance by simply purchasing a better stylus when you're ready. Sumiko currently has 2 steps up from which you could choose. The tone arm height, while not adjustable, is preset to have perfect VTA for all of their Oyster models, allowing you to move up to some of their popular moving coil models later without worrying about VTA. We don't know if Sumiko planned it that way, but all of their upper end Oyster models are within 2/100ths of a millimeter in height. Now, while these turntables are rather easy to set up and get going, if you purchase your Pro-Ject turntable from Audio Advice, you can be confident knowing that our team of experts will provide lifetime support and are only a chat or call away to help you along the way. We also offer free shipping and a price guarantee. Plus, our website has an expansive library of free turntable content, from reviews to detailed setup guides to our turntable buyer's guide, which can help you pick out the right gear if you are just getting started in the world of vinyl. So that is the entry-level T2 that we just discussed, which certainly brings a lot to the party at its price point. But the next model up is one that we think will be the best choice for most vinyl lovers. The T2 Super Phono is an identical turntable to the T2, but with one big exception. It comes with a built-in phono preamp. Now, you may think at first, what is the big deal about that? Lots of turntables come with a phono preamp built in. Well, the big deal is that this phono preamp is based on the $200 Pro-Ject Phono Box S2 with a very similar moving magnet phono preamp. So the built-in one will totally blow away any built-in phono preamp in almost all stereo receivers and integrated amps until you get into the multi-$1,000 range. You also have less chance of noise getting into your cables, as the signal will be at a high level instead of the low level that normally comes out of a turntable. And on the cables, all of the T2 models come with Pro-Ject's $69 Connect Phono cable, which is far superior to most of the cables included in turntables in this price category. So, if you are considering the T2 and do not have a totally awesome phono preamp, we highly recommend you spend an extra $100 and get the Super Phono version. And if you later want to use a better phono preamp or moving coil cartridge, you can even defeat it with just the push of a button. Now, moving to the most expensive model in the new T2 line is the T2 W Wi-Fi streaming turntable. We are having a hard time wrapping our head around this one, even though it won an EISA award recently in the turntable category. It is identical to the T2 Super Phono, but with Wi-Fi streaming built in. From a Wi-Fi streaming standpoint, it does have some great features. It uses all of the latest WLAN standards and 2x2 MIMO, which allows for theoretical speeds that are faster than typical modem internet connections. The T2 can stream in standard compressed format or 24-bit 48 kHz and can send the signal out to an unlimited number of devices. It is also easy to set up with the Pro-Ject app. Now, the use case that we see for this would be if you had a whole house or another audio system in a different location than your turntable and wanted to get your vinyl sound into that system. But for most people, you put your turntable in the same room as your audio system and just enjoy the music right there. It does fill the need for Wi-Fi vinyl streaming, but it is currently priced at twice the price of the T2 plus a nice bottle of wine. Setup is another bonus that we noticed when we unpacked the T2. Everything is pre-mounted, aligned, and balanced from the factory. All you have to do is make the audio connections, put the belt on, add the outer glass platter, set the anti-skate, connect the power supply, and you are done. As we typically do, we set the T2 Super Phono up in a room with a Macintosh integrated amp and a big set of Sonos Faber Tower speakers. Yes, it is overkill for something like this, but we feel it's the best way to find out how something really sounds. Now, when we had tested the T1, we were blown away at how well the table tracked, which was even more apparent with the T2. This new arm and Rainier cartridge combo worked really well together. We heard very little breakup, even in complex musical passages. Everything was warm, spacious, and with a great flow. Our toe tapping content tests came out very well too, as we easily got into the rhythm of the music with the T2. The only drawback we noticed when we tested the T1 and the Ortophon cartridge combo was its lack of deep bass impact. We have to say, this greatly improved with the T2 and the Rainier cartridge. The T2 lineup offers the vinyl lover who is not interested in lots of tweaking of their rig a really great way to get into a pretty serious turntable turntable for not a whole lot of money in the grand scheme of high-performance turntables. The T2 Super Phono is by far the best value and is what we would recommend to just about everybody. But if you look at the Pro-Ject lineup, just above the T2 is the debut Evo. While it has a slightly shorter tone arm, it has even better bearings and is made of carbon fiber. The platter is also better damped and it has upgraded feet with a better motor mount. But it requires you to know how to balance a tone arm properly to get it set up. So it somewhat comes down to ease of setup or a bit better performance. What we would love to see is for Pro-Ject to put a carbon fiber version of the T2 arm with more adjustments on the Evo, and maybe that will come down the road one day. So should you consider going beyond $550 to $650 in your turntable investment, we find you hear big improvements in turntables as you move up. The improvements as you move up are pretty easy to hear each time you listen to a better one. Remember, the sound begins at your table, so the better the table, the more music you'll be able to pull off your records. The choice really comes down to how deep you see yourself getting into this world of vinyl fun. Alright, I'm interested to know if you've taken the step into the world of vinyl and what your current turntable and speaker setup is, so leave a comment below to let us know. And if you have further questions, contact our experts via chat, phone, or email. Or simply visit one of our world-class showrooms to experience turntables, speakers, projectors, TVs, and everything in between for yourself before you make a purchase. Now, if you've enjoyed this video and would like to continue to support us in making more content like this, please give this video a like, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notifications so you never miss out on any of our latest content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.